Hi and welcome back to my channel, Just Booking Around. My name is Amber and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the books that I read when I was a little girl that inspired me to get into reading. So I love these videos when I've seen other people do them and share the books that inspired them when they were young or whenever they started to get into reading, what inspired them. So to kick off, I want to share a book, and you're probably going to think it's silly that I was like a little girl and loved reading this because it's kind of it's not a boy book, but I could see little boys being more drawn to this than little girls, but I loved it. And it is the Hank the Cowdog series. I loved it. When I was little, I was so addicted to it. And there are 31 stories that follow Hank, who is this cow dog who lives on a farm, and it's just about his adventures that happen with the farm animals or the farm owner or whatever. I don't know why I loved it so much. I remember going to the library and just wanting to read every single one of these. They are a really simple, easy read. There's a few pictures in the cover or inside that are fun, so I don't know why, but I loved it. I think because at such a young age I started to discover how much I love mysteries and solving mysteries, and that's what this is. There's always some mystery that has happened on the farm, and so the whole book is about him trying to figure out what has happened, whatever it is. So anyway, if you have a little kid that loves mysteries and farm animals and dogs or whatever, this would probably be a fun book for you to get them. I don't know if you can get this in the bookstore. I have not seen them, but you can get them online. So I want to collect all of them. This happens to be book 3, so I'm going to get all of them. I just think it's something that's nostalgic for me that I loved reading when I was a little girl, and the mystery addiction has continued. I'm obsessed with like Criminal Minds and Law and Order and those kind of shows where you're trying to figure out what's happening. Sherlock Holmes, I love that. So there's just a lot of great shows and movies out there that I'm addicted to where you're trying to problem solve the mystery. So I think this kind of kick-started it when I was little, like elementary school age. Okay, my next book, and this is actually the original book, and it is Indian in the Cupboard by Lynne Reid Banks. And oh sorry, and I didn't tell you the author on this one. This is J.R.R. Erickson, and this is actually my copy. It's old, the pages have started to turn yellow, and on the inside my 4th grade class actually signed my covers inside with their name, and my 4th grade teacher signed it, and I just thought that was such a cool idea. If I had kids, I would probably do that with their class, like have their classmates sign their favorite book for that year on there. I just thought that's such a cool idea. Okay, I love this story, I think mostly because when I was a little girl, I was pretty sure all my dolls and all my Barbies came alive at night. So when I would go to bed, I would get all my clothes, my socks, shirts, whatever I could get, and I would tuck all of my dolls in. So I would line them up on the floor, and then I would drape like my t-shirt over them or whatever clothing item I could get, a blankie or whatever, and I would drape them and tuck them all into bed at night. And so when I read Indian in the Cupboard, I was like, see, I told you. They come alive at night. I knew it. And so this has kind of solidified my curiosity that they come alive at night. And I don't know, this is kind of another boyish book with cowboys and Indians, and there's a little boy that's the main character, and he shuts the cupboard and turns this key, and then the toys come alive in there. So I thought it was such a fun, exciting book, and I think it just fed my imagination of my toys coming alive at night. Might sound creepy, but it's not. It was fun. My next book is extremely popular. It's James and the Giant Peach, and this again is the original. This is an old copy. It's by Bantam Skylar Book. I don't know, but it's an old edition by Roald Dahl. There's already a movie out, which I haven't seen. I need to go watch it. So anyway, again, I love this. I love the imagination. This actually has pictures, colored pictures inside. But I don't know, I like the idea of going inside of a peach and surviving and living, and bugs that could talk to him, and I just thought it was so cool that these insects could hear him and talk to him, and he was their size, and they just went on this adventure inside of this peach. And I don't know why, but I loved this story and I got hooked on it, and it's one of those stories that are just kind of close to your heart. There's another cool, can you see? Another cool illustration. Oh, that's the one on the cover as well. So these were some of my favorite kid books that are kind of smaller. When I got into middle school, I decided to, in my English class, we had to pick a book to read, and she gave us a selection to pick from, and one of them was The Hobbit. I'd never heard of it before, and this isn't the original. I can't find it. I don't know where it's at, but this is what the original looked like, minus this stupid banner here that says motion picture, soon to be a motion picture. So this shows you how old it is. And I try not to buy books that show like movie covers or say stuff about a movie. I don't want my book to be a walking advertisement for a movie. Okay, just a little side note there. But I wanted this one because it looked just like the original book that I had. So this is the one I picked, and I was actually like terrified to read it because all the other books I've read have been fairly small, simple reads, and then you get this one and the font was like teeny tiny and it was super thick, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I can do this. This is a huge book for me. But one of my friends who was an avid reader was reading like ginormous thick books, and I thought, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. So I picked this one up and I got sucked into it. I could not put this down. I absolutely loved this story. It was so unlike anything I'd ever read before, but I did love kind of the fantasy and the mystery. I think that's why I like, James and the Giant Peach and Indian in the Cupboard, they're kind of just this fantasy make-believe world, and that's what this one was, and I fell in love with it, and it has been such a favorite of mine, and I was so excited when they came out with the movie, and I love the movie as well, even though I don't like it advertised on my book, but I do love the movie, and I loved this story about Bilbo and his adventures. And I just think if you have a kid who is thinking about getting into a bigger book, this one I would definitely suggest. I think a lot of people may not read them anymore because of the movie, but still read them, just like the Harry Potters. Still go and read the books. There's so much more in the book than they can fit in the movie, and that's understandable, but the books have a lot more details. So anyway, these are a few of the books that inspired me when I was a little girl to read and got me hooked on reading, and I have a lot more, but these were kind of my top favorites that I absolutely loved. There was a few others like Lord of the Flies I really liked. Island of the Blue Dolphins was another one that I liked. So there's a whole bunch more. Whipping Boy. They're old. Shows how old I am. So anyway, I would love to hear and list down below the books that you read when you were little that inspired you to read. Even if you just started getting into reading and you're an adult now, list some of your favorite books that you loved. Oh, Ender's Game was another one, my first sci-fi kind of book. Even though Lord of the Rings is in the sci-fi section, Ender's Game is a different type of sci-fi. So anyway, that's another good book that I really liked. I could talk books all day long. So anyway, again, leave your book inspirations down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. It's in red. Everything's a tongue twister. I'm having a hard time twisting my tongue around words today. So have a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic day wherever you are in this world, and I will be chatting with you soon. Bye.